Uh, looks like my YouTube is. I mean, the one is not going through. Give me a second. I have to restart.
Right.
Welcome, you guys and gals out there in stream viewing land. Welcome to the Half-azz Rebel Gamer Podcast. I still never will decide what the name of the show is. It's just something. How about that? This something. I should change the name of the show to this something. I am your host, Rebel Havoc here, and I have a very special guest here today. One of my viewers, Sir Jackdaw. Will you please, sir, say hello,
mate?
To the hello.
How you doing?
Hello. I like that. Yeah, very simple. I like that. Before we get started here, I'm going to quickly go through the rules. All right. First and foremost, this is a gaming-related podcast because Twitch says it has to be gaming-related in order to do things like this. So this is mainly a gaming-related podcast. I should put mainly in that rule down here. All right. Feel free to chat and discuss. Even if you're not on the a guest talker here on the show, you're more than feel free to chat. I am looking at not only my Twitch chat, but I'm also looking at my YouTube chat if you're deciding to watch it over there. Don't whisper me. This is for my Twitch people. Don't whisper me during this, okay? Don't be rude. All right, and I will try my best to interact with you guys while you're, talking either shit to each other or shit to us, or actually, being like actual gamers and want to discuss games with us. And yeah, I will interact with you guys down there. Yes, this is bad. This is not a professional podcast at all. I don't claim this to be a professional podcast at all. And I'm still doing this for practice for my actual, scripted and edited podcast that I used to do back in the day. But I think I might just stick to this. I don't know. People like this better. People can show up and actually participate. Whatever it is. We are not here to convince you of anything. Okay, I'm not here to convince you, and Sir Jackdaw here is not to convince you. We just want to express our opinions and talk games, right? That's the whole entire point of this. So we are not trying to, pick sides. We are trying to get a better understanding of, your fellow gamers. That's what we're here for. We want to get to know each other better. Like when we go on a date, right? Like we go on a date.
Yep. Talking about all those games, dude.
Talking about all them games, and we're not gaming journalists. I'm not a game journalist. I'm pretty sure Jackdaw is not a game journalist. If he is,
you'd be surprised.
He didn't tell me, but that's okay though. That's okay. We'll still have him on the show because he's that cool of a guy. All right. And we don't have any inside. Just people here talking about games. And if you like this, or you have any suggestions, or you just want to talk shit at me, feel free to contact me. Okay, you can always hit me up through my Twitter is probably the best place ever to hit me at, but if you feel like you can hit me up through Discord, if you have the Discord information, all you have to do is type Discord. Rebelbot is here, and or you can hit me on my email, which I don't ever have listed at the bottom. You're gonna have to ask me for that. All right, really? Okay, really, just whatever your feelings about this, please do let me know. So let's go ahead. All right, and let's move to our topics of the day. Our first topic here is DLC. If you don't know what DLC is, downloadable content. And this topic was brought up by Sir Jackdaw here. Sir Jackdaw, you have opening remarks. Go ahead.
Alright, so games like Destiny and Rainbow Six Siege, they're offering a bunch of microtransactions for the players to purchase, and they usually don't offer any in-game benefits. But they say they're funding future DLC, but we don't know what that DLC is, or when it's coming, or if it's even coming at all. And with games like Call of Duty or Battlefield, you pay $50 for a season pass or something. You know what you're getting with the content, and you know when you're getting it. So what do you think is really the best for consumers and just average gamers looking to have a game to last a while?
What do I feel? I too also question that, because not only is Bungie doing that, with this DLC, we're funding other DLC, or with this microtransactions, we're funding other DLC. Believe it or not, 343 Industries are doing the same thing with Halo 5, saying that, hey, that the money we make off these red packs are not only funding future DLC, that they are feature free DLC, I'm sorry, but they are also funding the Halo Championship tournament too. But about the future DLC, we don't know when we're gonna get it. I can see how you can feel a little bit conflicted about Bungie doing it, because they have a bad history with Destiny when it comes to DLC. Probably some of the worst DLC that they've made, and these are the guys who made Halo 1, 2, and 3,
Yeah, for real. Like, their DLC is very questionable, how they took out in-game content just to sell it back. Like, that was really stupid. And now that they're trying to fund more content with that microtransaction, like, pay system, I think it's very stupid, because what they did is they split up the game into DLC, and then now they don't have any idea for DLC, so they're just selling microtransactions. And with Rainbow Six Siege and Halo 5, like you said, they are funding free maps and stuff, so that is all good, but it depends on how much people are actually getting out of that. Because with the rec packs and Halo 5, you only get a few things that are hardly ever worth anything, which is very stupid. So why pay $20 in gun camos or weapons when you could pay $20 for a season pass or something, you know? It's very strange, in my opinion, that they would go that route.
I believe they're going that route is because I feel like they're getting a lot of flack for that past history of DLC. I know I give them a lot of flack. I've done several of these podcasts on Destiny alone. My audience, they understand that I do not agree with anything Bungie has done with the game other than how you shoot people in that game. I strongly agree with how they did that, but they've getting a lot of flack for that. And I believe that's why they're going this route. I am 100% sure they wanted to sell the next DLC they have for that game, but with the backlash they be getting for the Down Below and the House of Wolves, people didn't like how you had to pay. Even the Taken King, I didn't want to fucking pay another $40 fucking dollars. Excuse my language, $40 for the Taken King. And I can barely enjoy the PvP game in Destiny because I don't have the Taken King, which is probably the only thing I like in that game now is the PvP. But I believe, like I said earlier, that's probably the reason why they're doing this now. They don't want to piss nobody off no more. They're tired of it, and they're going to start offering DLC for free now. But they're going to have to make money off of it somehow. And through those microtransactions is how they're going to make that money. Unfortunately, though, I will agree with you. What they're selling in that shop is like pretty useless crap. What is it, like dances and emotes? You got to enlighten me on that.
And sparrow horns, because everyone likes to honk their sparrow, right?
Oh, sparrows, oh my god. Yeah, I don't see any of that useless. But I will say though, if they did sell like weapons with stats on it, they would probably get so much flack for that because that's pay to win then you're paying to win, and people don't want that. Now, if they were smart enough and do like what Halo and CSGO are doing and sell like weapon skins, people like weapon skins. Do you like weapon skins?
For the most part, yes,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I almost never use them.
I love the weapon skins in Halo 5. I don't know if you was watching that day, but I went from like 1,000 points to 80,000 rec points just to get the championship series weapon skins for my assault rifle and pistol, and all in one weekend because I wanted those weapon skins. I don't like buying weapon skins though because I feel like weapon skins are not worth buying, but I feel like they could do a different route with what they're selling in the shop. I think that's what's turning people off. And still, you need the Taken King. You still need the Taken King to even get advantage of those new DLC. So there's still like people like me who refuse to buy the $40 pack. I still suffer because I can't even enjoy the newer content that's going to be coming up because I refuse to pay for the Taken King. I refuse to pay for it unless it goes on sale for like $5 because that shit is worth to me. Excuse my language again. So
yeah, like I wouldn't own the DLC if my friend hadn't bought it for me because I'm like, it's not worth it. It's not gonna ever. I'm never gonna play it after I get to about 300 light level or something stupid like that. And that's exactly what happened. I played it and I don't play it anymore just because it lacked content. We call it the Taken content for a reason.
The Taken content. I don't think I've heard anyone say that before. That is the first of all these YouTubers and Twitch people I watch. I've never heard anybody call it the Taken content. That's good.
Yeah, but like what they could do is I understand that they're trying not to make the community mad by having to pay for even more DLC. But what they could do instead of selling these like hi emotes, like hey or something, instead of doing something stupid like that, what they could do is like sell cosmetic items, like different looking helmets, like they're the same, like armor skins, if that makes any sense, kind of like vanity. skins from Terraria or something, they could
Yeah.
do something along that lines instead of an emote that makes you wave two
Yeah.
times.
Yeah.
Like I'd prefer that just so I could look how I want, because the way they're doing it right now, it's okay. Because I will admit I did buy one of the Sparrows for SRL, the Sparrow Racing League, because they look really cool, and I got the one I wanted, so that made me happy. But you know that was short lived. And for my $5, I could have gotten something way more, because a lot of the armor sets in game are they are overshadowed by some of the raid gear you could get. And if you could wear the raid gear, so you could be the highest level light you can be, like 320 or something,
Uh-huh.
you could wear some like uncommon armor piece, like a green piece of armor over that, but not decrease your light level. And it's just purely for the cosmetic look. And I wouldn't be happy if they forced us to buy that, but it would be a lot better than a dance that I'll use every match or so, like in my opinion at least.
Mm-hmm. And I've heard a lot of the people giving that Cash Up a lot of flack. You bring up a good idea actually. There was this coat that I used to love wearing on I had a female warlock. There was this coat I loved that I got from the Queen's event way back in the day when Destiny was just first starting. They actually had an event.
The Queen's Wrath,
The
right?
Queen's Wrath, yeah. And you got a coat from her, like a little armor. It was like a little clean looking coat, and I loved it. And it had like the Queen's emblem on the side, and I was like, I really like this coat. And it sucks that in order for me to get like any higher in my light level, when light level used to matter, I think it still matters. I think they just changed how it sounds. When you change the light level, I wanted to keep the coat, but I couldn't keep the coat because I had to change it to this other armor so I can get higher light level, and it really disappointed me that I had to give up that coat. I will definitely. They should give you they could sell, and they probably would be able to get away with it too. They could sell I don't know if you've ever heard of the term transmogrify. Transmogrify is when you take the look of one armor and apply it to the stats of another. All right, it's still that same armor that you're using, but it just looks like the armor that you wanted to look like. So you are further customizing your character. Diablo 3 has that within their game where you can transmogrify your armor. It'll still be the same armor, but it'll look like the armor you wanted it to look like. I would definitely, if they could sell like little tokens like that, I can see a lot of people buying into that because all the armor in Destiny is okay. All right, okay. They have some pretty well designed one, like the Titans raid armor from Crota. It looks pretty cool. It kind of looks like a Fallen. But
Yeah.
man, the armor, the House of Wolf armor for the Warlock does not look cool at all. But
It looked greasy to me.
yeah,
Very greasy.
they could definitely go with something different. But to further mention on this DLC, I think the real problem with Destiny and a lot of other developers when it comes to DLC is honesty is the best policy. Okay, for developers, honesty is the best policy. And when they come to announce DLC, and we as gamers, we're not dumb, and the internet is there, so we are even more connected to these things. Honesty is your best policy. Just be honest about what you want to do with your DLC, or be honest that your DLC was cut material from your game. At least be honest about it, okay? All right.
Yeah, because like you're saying, they have to be honest about it, and they were completely lying about it, saying, "Hey, look at all this new content that we're selling."
Yeah,
and back about 3 or 4 weeks ago, this doesn't have much to do with DLC, but it's with their honesty. In an update, right? They were supposed to change the auto rifles to actually do more damage, right? Like a 7% change, which isn't a lot, but it's still something. A week later, they were like, "Hey, it was a typo. We meant it to be .07." It's like, really? You did?
Yeah. But a lot of developers these days, they just don't understand that the simplest thing. Honestly, the best policy is the way to go. If Bungie would have came out and been like, look here, guys, we had to make a business decision about our game when it comes to DLC. We was getting pressure from upper hand, all right, and we was getting rushed out the door. All right, we had to have DLC. The DLC that we were initially going to make for this game was cut from the original game. I mean, it was not being made, and I'm hoping that the DLC they originally made for this game is actually now being made, or whatever's coming up, and that they should have just said, hey, yes, it's a little bit of content from the game. All right. And I think gamers would have understood. Bungie would have got so much leeway if they'd have said that out in the first place, because Bungie is a very popular developer, I believe it or not. Just like people on the Xbox who know who Naughty Dog is, I'm pretty sure people on the PlayStation side know who Bungie is. The makers of Halo. They are the creators of one of the most popular FPS, console FPS to be known, next to Call of Duty. Okay, next to Call of Duty. All right. And still very popular today. And if they would have just been honest about it, I think they would have got a lot of leeway. But people were putting a lot of hope within Bungie. This is their first game, their first foray out into making a multi-console game, and you would think they would have been a tad bit more honest. But then again, they do have history while they were making Halo of a little bit of dishonesty, and with their terrible DLC practice. I don't know if you guys remember, but I clearly remember when Bungie would release DLC for Halo 1, 2, and 3, it would literally separate, just like it's doing right now for Destiny. It is separating your community, and a lot of developers today want to not do that anymore. That's why, like, a lot of these map packs are starting coming out free, and that's why you're starting to see more microtransactions being put in there, because these microtransactions are actually fueling our gaming atmosphere right now, and that's okay. That's fine. That's totally fine. It's just Bungie was known to do this beforehand, and I should have known they would have not changed. I should have known, because they definitely have a history of that. But they did make up to it afterwards, though, by releasing the once paid DLC for free once they released the next map pack. So, like, if you didn't get it the first time, and then they released the next map pack, then the previous map pack would become free. So if you were really a patient gamer, you would wait for those next DLC to come out. But I feel like we didn't cover everything that we could talk about on this one. There was no chatter here in the chat, so we are going to actually go ahead and move on to your next topic, because you brought up this one too, and I'm actually quite excited to talk about this one. TTK. But from you guys who don't know what TTK is, Jackdaw will talk about what TTK is.
Alright, so what time to kill is, it's like how long it takes you to kill someone in the game. So for games like Call of Duty, the time to kill is super fast, and it doesn't reward any skill. But games like Destiny and Halo, they have longer time to kills, which promote more tactical, I guess you could say, gameplay. But at the same time, you have Rainbow Six Siege with a one-shot kill for almost every weapon. But the game is really, really focused on team tactics. So why do you think that is, and which one do you prefer overall?
For time to kill, which one I prefer?
Yeah.
Ooh, that's a good question. Believe it or not, I do not like Call of Duty's time to kill, because you die a lot naked. You die way too many times, and I think you're the human, a human can take dying within a video game. I actually prefer the little tactical, long ones. I like the time to kill in Halo. Believe it or not, Halo was like my second FPS to play. My very first FPS to play was actually Counter-Strike, and that game has very short time to kill based on skill. Okay, based on skill, you can die within a couple of shots, or you can die instantly. Just depend on the skill of your shooter who killed you. But I would say I like Halo time to kill. It definitely, you feel the heat of battle, especially if you're going one-on-one with someone. You're not going to die very quick. but you have all these other options for you to keeping yourself alive while trying to kill that other person, while trying to kill the enemy. There is definitely a tug of war to see who can kill each other, and if you got skill, the game actually rewards you for it. With the medals, definitely one of my favorite medals is getting the perfect medal. It sounds very don't sound very cool or very, but actually, when you get that perfect medal, that means you landed every single one of your shots and killed that person. You don't get that very often, especially if you got someone who knows how to invade. And also, and I have to bring this up, one of my favorite medals in that game is reversal, which means that the person got the jump on you, but you utilizing the skills and the tools that they gave you within that game, you managed to reverse the situation and actually kill your attacker. You managed to kill your attacker. That's definitely a very satisfying medal to get. But yeah, long TTK definitely adds a little bit more of a strategy to the game. Was there something?
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I feel like I was blabbing on. That's why I was like, let me stop for a second.
Yeah, but like as you were saying with the reversal medal and everything, the reason a long time to kill is so good is because it lets you actually have firefights with people. They're not over, it's not a go around the corner who can fire first.
True.
It encourages you to actually have a firefight with your enemy, and it does encourage those tactics like using all the available tools you have to your advantage. Like if you have a spare grenade, you'll chuck that around the corner so you can get a slight advantage and then continue with the firefight like you do constantly by throwing the grenade at your feet and then
Yeah.
taking it from there.
Yeah.
But with the tactics, I don't think that time to kill makes it all, because with Halo, like, the tactics are more focused on what you can do overall. And games like Rainbow Six Siege, they are very, very tactical games. You can't run into a room, even though it has a faster time to kill than not Destiny, Call of Duty does. You can't spray a gun because it's very reliant on skill. Because if you can hit a headshot with any weapon in the game, they are dead. But it's not easy to do. And I think that mostly relies around the fear of dying so fast, so you have to take it kind of slower, like Halo. You kind of take that game slow as well, but slow because you can't take on multiple enemies. As in Rainbow Six Siege, if you're good at the game, you can wipe an entire squad in front of you. You don't have to. You have to worry about yourself dying in Halo because you cannot take on two people. It is very, very hard to do with just a standard battle rifle or something. But in Rainbow Six Siege, if you have the 416C, which is a very high damaging weapon for one of the classes, you could take on so many people at once with that thing, just for the fact that it does a lot of damage, and it's a really it's a really good weapon, and in the hands of the right player, you can destroy. But like you were saying with Halo, it lets you use your environment to your advantage and, get on top of something to get the drop on someone and then hopefully reverse the drop they had on you, But in Rainbow Six Siege, that you can't do that. If someone's up behind you, then you're dead. So there's no real firefights there, unlike Halo. So I agree with you there.
Yeah, I agree with pretty much everything you said, especially when it comes to Rainbow Six. A lot of people don't bring that game up. That game is good. First of all, I want to say that game is good, and it's time to kill. And sometimes you got to think: is the time to kill fit the type of game that you are playing? Like Halo, it's time to kill fits the game that I'm playing. Halo the newer one, Halo 5, is a lot more faster pace, but it's still the time to kill fits perfectly for what kind of game it is. Like Halo, you have all these tools and stuff to keep yourself alive. You have to utilize those while trying to doing the same thing, while trying to knock down your opponent's kills. While in Rainbow Six Siege, though, Rainbow Six Siege has a short time to kill, but the game is built around tactics. Halo is built less, I want to say a little bit less, not too much tactics, as much tactics as you would see in a Rainbow Six game. But Rainbow Six give you so many more tools than Halo, so many more opportunities, and you have to literally have to work with your team in order to win games. And that it's time to kill fits perfectly for that game, because if you die in a game, it is not because the player did something crazy, because you made a mistake and was not being clear and concise with your team, and that short time to kill is your punishment, which you don't need to get any respawns in the game, which I also like because I play a lot of Counter-Strike. But that is your punishment. You die quickly. You cannot make mistakes. That is what that game is saying. Don't make mistakes. Work with your team, or you're gonna die, and you're gonna die fast. I played in the beta for that game, and there were some games I didn't work with my team very well, and I died fast. And then I was like, man, this. But in Call of Duty, though, when I die and I die fast, I do not feel. I will agree. I do not feel good about that, because the time to kill, I really feel like it's like a little bit too short. It could be just a tad bit longer, because you have so many tools to get a drop on someone, or to evade that, but you can't use them because you die so fast. Like you can wall jump and jump all this stuff, but you can't use them because as soon as somebody get the drop on you, that's it. That is it. Unless you're behind a wall and you can like duck behind it real quick.
Yeah, because there's like no real firefights in the game. Because in Halo, you will sit there for a good amount of time trying to kill someone. Like you'll pull out your Magnum and take a few pop shots at someone. They'll try to come over and you'll duke it out for a little bit.
Yeah.
But in Call of Duty, you'll jump on a wall and be like, I'm being super tactical, and then just die.
Yeah.
Just because.
Yeah, that game is very arcadey, I had to say, but definitely the time to kill is definitely really short in that game. I never really thought about that because I'm just I play the games, the older games so much that I just died. There have been some instances that I've managed to keep myself loose, but those are few and far between. Usually when somebody get the drop on me, that is it. Like I am done. But games like I don't know, let me bring up some third-person shooters here, like Gears of War. The time to kill super fucking long in that game. I don't know if you ever played Gears of War. Man,
I played Gears of War 3 and 2.
Yeah, Gears of War 3. Man, I love playing Gears of War 3. I think it's one of my favorite Gears of War multiplayer. But man, that time to kill in Gears of War 3 is insanely high. It's super high.
It really depends on the weapon, which is really cool about Gears of War, because the time to kill there varies. If you're using the Lancer, then yes, it'll take you an eternity, but it's a very adaptable weapon. If you have the torque bow, if you can hit them, they're dead. Same with the long shot and everything. But if you get a shotgun, you can't do anything at range. But if you get up close, the time to kill is super fast, especially if you hit all your shots on them. It speeds up a lot, which is really cool about Gears of War, because it's not like Halo where the time to kill is almost always in the same ballpark, or Rainbow Six Siege where it's usually a few shots. It can vary from a couple magazines to one or two blasts from a shotgun. So it's really adaptable, which makes the game very competitive in my opinion.
Yeah, that time to kill in Gears of War. Every time I just think about it, it's just bad. But I love playing that game. But it does add to the tactics. But I feel like the time to kill in Gears of War is just not long enough. It's just too long for what the comic is, because Gears of War is a little bit slow paced. You're not jumping off of walls or anything, or you're not like you're not like doing anything crazy, so
you're not flying around.
You're not flying around or anything, so it's just like, oh man, I'm like putting like a whole clip into this guy of my Lancer, and he's just not dying, But one game I definitely know had a little bit long time to kill too that I played a long time ago. Lost Planet, definitely another one of my favorite multiplayer games to play. That game had high time to kill, but the guns were pretty accurate. Like they were pretty accurate for what they were, so it made up for how long the time to kill was. But you were also doing like they were not wall jumps, but there was like this little dodge roll they gave you, And during this dodge roam, there was a couple of sorry if I say that, invincibility frames. So there was a time while you're doing that roll that you don't take damage because of those invincibility frames, and that would add it to the tactics of that game, which I believe is, that whole entire dodge roll. Once you master that dodge roll, like you learn when to do it and how to do it, it just added to the tactics. Because there were some other crazy things you could do, because they gave you like a grappling hook and you can go on top of buildings and everything. And, you had mechs and tanks, and you had like guns that literally had bullets that would track you around corners. So mastering, yeah, it was pretty fun. It was not fun for people who got into it at first, but once you learn how to use that dodge roll, a lot of that stuff didn't. It made sense, like, oh, it's okay to have this giant mech, because when he shoot his rockets, you would have to learn your timing to when to do the dodge roll, and then the mech rockets won't even hurt you. It'll like put you into like a like a stumbling animation, like you'll show your guy stumbling a little bit, but you wouldn't take no damage. So even the bullets that would follow you around corners, the energy gun, it had a pretty good tracking. But if you timed your dodge roll, you can literally dodge through the shot that the person shot at you, and you would take no damage. So learning that dodge roll was part of the game. Learning when those invincibility frames were going to hit was part of the game, which added to the tactics. Learning to get on drop on your people was probably another skill that you had to master in the game, because people, when you were playing against high-level Lost Planet players, who knew how to use their dodge roll to their best abilities, you had to learn how to get the drop on people. That's why you had to learn how to use your grappling hook to get to the top. Kind of hang around at the top. When you get into one-on-one encounters with someone, you had to learn when they're gonna shoot. You kind of had to like play mind games after a while. Like, when is he gonna shoot? That's when I need to dodge, so I won't take any damage, and I can knock him down. There was a lot of things going on in that game. It kind of makes me sad that it didn't catch on with a lot of people. There are 2 sequels to the game. Both of the multiplayers played the same. While I think the second one was a little bit better because it had bigger maps with more people on the thing. But you had a long time to kill in that game. But you had so many other things going on. Like, you could be getting shot with a mech and a dude with an energy gun at the same time. Which kind of made up for having a long time to kill. Because if you didn't manage to dodge, both of them are going to do a lot of damage to you, and you're going to die. But the time to kill, even though it was long, it fitted for that game, because there was a lot of shit going on during a game during a game session of that game. So it made sense to have a long time to kill. But like Gears of War, there's not no mech shooting at me. Yeah, somebody might hit me with a torque bow if they get lucky. Or all right, the sniper was kind of OP. Like, I think one shot will put you down, but one shot to the head will kill you. All right, that was a little bit OP, but still though, like a full Lancer clip just to put down someone, not kill them, just to put them down so you can kill them. That's a little bit too long. Too long. The hammer burst, just bad, man.
Yeah, and speaking of third-person shooters, did you ever play Red Faction Guerrillas multiplayer? Because its time to kill was somewhere between Gears of War and Halo. Like, it wasn't stupid long like Gears of War, and it was a kind of faster like Halo's. And the thing with it is there was only one weapon that could one-shot you. And that was the railgun, and the only way they could do that is if you were hit in the head. And in the game, what you can do, there's like these backpack sort of things you can have that can allow you to do multiple things, like thrust forward and like destroy anything in your path, or a jetpack, like a simple jetpack or something like that. And all of those would make it super hard for you to get one-shotted. But if you did, it was because you got outplayed. And that's another thing with games, is I think that a varying time to kill is a very good idea, but depending on the game, like Rainbow Six, you can't have a super long time to kill versus a high time to kill. That wouldn't work in such a small area like the game takes place in. But I think Gears of War, they went a bit too overboard with that sort of time to kill,
Yeah.
and the game it wants you to play it a lot faster than it really lets you,
Yeah.
with all the weapons and the cover mechanics and all that. But I think Red Faction did time to kill very well because it wasn't super fast paced like Call of Duty. I'd say it was a bit faster than Halo, because you could run forward with an assault rifle down someone in about 10 shots and they were dead, and the assault rifle fired super fast. So, you know, as long as you could hit your shots, you could have a decent time to kill. And I think that led to very interesting games because the damage drop off in the game was it was very insane, because if you were about 2 buildings away from someone, you might as well have been tickling them, instead of actually shooting them.
Uh huh.
So it encouraged you to get close to them, and if you got close to them, you knew what you were doing, then you would most likely win that fight. But it with the right weapons, you could fight at long range. Like if you've ever heard of the nano rifle, it's a very adaptable gun. You can aim down the sights with it, and it's very effective at any range because it has no damage drop off with it, because it shoots like this stuff that disintegrates anything. So, and it has a good fast fire rate. So you can use it in almost any situation, but it's a single fire weapon, so you have to aim it. So if you were close to someone, as long as you could aim, you could win. But at long range, it actually gave you an option, as well as the 2 other snipers in the game. But besides that, you mostly had to get close to people to kill them, which is why I think that's really cool. And that's kind of what Gears of War did as well, except they didn't execute it well, because at long range it was terrible, 3 magazines to kill a single person. So I think they went a bit too overboard with the longer range time to kill there.
Yeah, yeah, that definitely sounds like a lot longer time. But it is. I can see how some developers they don't know. It's hard. It's hard to get the time to kill right, and I can understand that. But I kind of feel like the people at Call of Duty have been doing this for years now. Well, they could at least get it. Maybe just give you just a tad bit more health, or if they're gonna give you so many tools for evasion, they should, get the time to kill to properly match that, because you can wall jump and you can slide dash and all this and that in a new Call of Duty game, but you still die within like a couple of shots in that game. So yeah, they could kind of fix that a little bit. But time to kill, I can definitely see how some developers they just have a hard time, and they probably get a lot of flack from like the community, from people like us. And
Yeah, and
to
it
get those
and the
correct.
time to kills can vary, because when Battlefield 4 released, I don't know if you've ever played the game or not, but whenever
Nah,
it
I
first
haven't played them.
released,
Uh huh.
the time to kill was about, it was like half a second faster. You could kill people super fast whenever the game released, because all the damage numbers were a lot higher than they are now, because it may not seem like a lot, but it took about 3 bullets to kill someone whenever the game first released. And now it takes 5 or 6 bullets. So they basically doubled the time to kill. So I don't think that was a good idea, but what I was saying was it kind of had to do with the net code,
Uh huh.
because Halo has a very solid net code. You shoot someone, your shots register. You usually don't get hit around corners. Rainbow Six is, it's okay, I guess. And Battlefield, whenever it first released, that super high time to kill
Yeah.
with the terrible god awful net code, it was just like you can't
Bad.
play the game. It didn't work. So what happened is they just made it so it took longer to kill people, because basically what would happen is you'd shoot someone, they wouldn't die, and then all your shots would register at the same time.
Oh.
So people would think that they just got one shotted by an assault rifle, and people are just like, what? So they increased the time to kill, so it didn't do that as often. And
Mm-hmm.
then they fixed the net code, but they've never gone back to the 24 damage instead of 25. So it's very strange, and it makes me wonder why they did that. Maybe the higher time to kill just fits the game better, like you were saying, but I don't know.
I never played Battlefield 4. I watched a lot of streams for it, and I can kind of tell. I feel like a lot of games when they do give you a higher time to kill is because there's just a lot going on. There's a dude in the tank, and then there's somebody's in the air. Then you got some dude rolling around in the Humvee. That's like 4 vehicles that could possibly shoot at you. Maybe you kind of just don't want to die instantly. I mean, maybe from the tank shot you probably will, or or the guy
Yeah.
in the jet. But I feel like when there's a lot of stuff going on, then that counts for a higher time to kill because you just don't know what's gonna happen to you. But Halo is more like kind of a traditional, well, not so much, but it's still kind of in the veins of a traditional arena shooter, but not like a fast-paced arena shooter like Quake or Unreal. Those games are like traditional arena shooters, man. They're like fast-paced. You have to have
Like
pinpoint
really,
accuracy,
really fast.
and their time to kills are super short. But they do that because the game pace is so fast. They want the game to go by quick and fast. That's the reason why they can justify a short time to kill in such an arcade game. Now, I don't know if Call of Duty is an arena shooter. I don't consider it. I don't even know what to consider Call of Duty, really. I don't know if it's an arena shooter or is it arcade. I think it kind of blends between the lines because it has a high
Well,
time to kill, but you don't really move too fast. I guess I don't know. It's like you move
yeah,
fast, but you I don't know. It's just like
because
in
in
between.
advanced warfare, yeah, keep
Yeah,
going, keep going.
like in Advanced Warfare, you're like wall jumping, and when it added the wall jumps to it, it's just like it didn't. I don't know. Maybe
It
it
had
didn't
an
feel
identity
right,
crisis.
huh?
It had like an identity crisis,
Yeah.
like it, like it. The time to kill in Black Ops 2 and Modern Warfare 2, those were probably the better of the Call of Duty games, in my opinion. Those were probably the 2 best ones. Because COD 4, it was a good game, but it had a lot of problems that people don't recognize anymore today, and they just look at it through their nostalgia glasses. And so they were trying to make the game like COD 4, but instead of doing that, what they did was they, in my opinion, ruined the game by adding jump packs in Advanced
Right.
Warfare. And that, I think Call of Duty is shifting more to the arena shooter. Not the arena shooter that Halo is, but more of the traditional Unreal Tournament style ones, or the original Red Faction
Yeah.
games.
Yeah. I can see them going that way. I don't know. I still think Call of Duty has an identity crisis when it comes to that shooter. But apparently, though, this latest one, unfortunately, I haven't had the chance to play that one. But I heard this one is probably one of the best ones. I don't know. I watched some streams. It does look like the time to kill is pretty short, but it doesn't seem as bad as the previous ones, I guess. But
Yeah, because there's actual firefights in the game now.
yeah, there's actual firefights in the game. Yeah, a couple of streamers I do like to watch. They play Call of Duty, and it seems like they're not just dying as quickly. Except for the ones who like to run out in battle and die. Those ones they still die quick.
Yeah.
But the time to kill, it is. I can kind of see how why some of them are long, but I don't understand why some of them like Gears of War. I don't understand why it's time to kill. It's so long. First you shoot them to put down the person, and then you have to shoot them again to kill them off because they're in a down state. You know,
Yeah, or
so
like go up to them and like stomp them in certain game modes where you couldn't shoot them when they
yeah,
were on the ground. You had to actually go up to them and do the
and
curb
do the
stomp or
stomp.
something.
Yeah, yeah. That's the only thing I dislike. But Gears of War 3 though, only reason I like that because I feel like they just got the controls right for that one. Like it plays well, even though I still hate the time to kill in that game. the controls and how that game plays is kind of makes up for it. But still, though, man, I hated killing people in that game because first I'll have to shoot them to down them, and then I'll have to shoot them again to kill them off. You know, but or
Yeah,
maybe I
and
just
then
sucked.
if
I don't
that
know.
happened,
It
like if they
is.
got downed and then just got behind cover, they could be picked up by one of their teammates, and it was like, really, I have to
Yeah.
do this again.
Yeah.
It was really stupid.
Yeah. But I think we didn't cover it all we could talk about here. Do you feel like you need to add in anything else too?
Not really. So I guess we can move on to your topic.
Yeah, we're gonna go on to our last topic here, which is I feel like I hate when developers do this when they hold their games for ransom. Now, when I mean they hold their games for ransom, I don't know if you guys have been recently reading about the soon to be released Dragon's Dogma on the PC. And people have been, a lot of PC gamers, they've been waiting for that game for a super long time. It's been, what, 3 years or something? 3 years, so probably longer than that. Or so, when the original Dragon's Dogma has released for the console. And, people on the PC has been claiming that, they've been clamoring for that game. They wanted it on the PC. And now they're going to finally to be releasing that game onto the PC, and Capcom, they've been kind of fucking up lately anyway. But Capcom is like, um, well, if the game does great on the PC and it sells really well, we might make a sequel to this game. And I was just like, I was, I was about to say, game's been out forever. Thank you, Inky. Always the most insight of comments. I appreciate it, girl. Appreciate it.
Might come out.
But I don't understand why developers do that. I feel like they are trying to force people to go out and buy games, and then they get other gamers like, oh no, we need to go out there and we need to get out there. You guys need to go buy this game. And I'm like, no. First of all, I'm never going to tell anybody to buy a game they don't even have interest in. I might suggest it, like, hey, why don't you try something new? Like, try Dragon's Dogma. I'm not telling you to go buy it. You don't have to go buy it. I don't really care if they make this sequel or not, really. Yeah, I enjoyed the first game, but I feel like a developer should not base not only on sales to justify a sequel. I feel like developers should start thinking about, like, hey, we had this game, Dragon's Dogma. Yeah, it didn't do too well. Maybe because we didn't promote it right. But it had really strong, a strong foundation on it. And a lot of people who have played Dragon's Dogma have said very positive things about it. This is a little bit linear, but there's been nothing but positive things said about this game, especially when it comes to the combat. Okay, which I think it's great. I think the combat is great, but it could still use some work. Combat's great, still could use some work though. But they have strong foundation. If Capcom was more confident in their skills instead of their sales, more confident in their skills, they would be able to improve on this game instead of holding this sequel for ransom. They would, instead of using the sequel based on sales, they would be like, we can make this game into something. It has a very strong foundation. Even though it didn't sell well, the people who did buy it did enjoy it a whole lot. I think we have something going here. We should make a sequel, not because it didn't sell well, but because we feel like the foundation of this game is strong. Okay, that is what they should be making a sequel for, not because oh, well, the PC game version sell. Obviously, that means people like it. No, people like this. I think people like this game in general. Like, it's not a bad game.
Yeah, to me, there's like two sides to it all. Because from the developer standpoint, because it costs a lot of money to develop a game, not a completely new IP necessarily, but it costs a good amount of money. So I guess what they're trying to do is making sure that if they do release a game, there will be a crowd that will actually invest in it so they can get their money back. But the way they're going about it is very, very stupid, like you said, because it's like this game is finally coming to PC and it's kind of old at this point. I don't know how old it is, but it's like if you're going to base it off of that, then I think that's a very stupid way to go about it. Maybe like put out a marketing campaign and ask people or something. Something else besides like restricting it and basically holding the next game hostage, basically.
Yeah.
Because if they did that with a Battlefield game or another Elder Scrolls game, because I like those series, if they said, okay, you have to buy the Xbox One, PS4 version of Skyrim if you want the next Elder Scrolls game to come out, and you also have to buy the Elder Scrolls Online. It's like, I'm not going to do that because I don't want to buy those, because I already own the games. I know what I'm doing, and I don't want to have to be forced into buying the same thing again to have the next game released, because at that point they're just trying to get the most money out of you, I think.
Yeah, that's pretty much what they're doing. Thinking. Exactly, But I didn't mean to. Go ahead, continue.
Because like, if they say they're thinking about releasing the next Dragon's Dogma game, and it's like, okay, that's sweet, but I also have to buy this one as well. It's like they're forcing the people who actually want the next game to come, like those people who want it to come out, they're forcing them to first of all own a PC to play it on, and then you have to go out, pay the money for the game, and then hopefully maybe get the second game.
Yeah, hopefully maybe. And that's like, this is not the first time Capcom has done about that. But you know what? This is not the first time Capcom don't understand that there's fans for this game. They have released like the remake of Resident Evil. OG. That game is old as hell. Yeah, it was popular, but how would they know that game was going to sell that well? The re-release has sold really well with the updated graphics and everything. I have bought 4 or 5 copies of Skyrim today. Really? Why? You don't need that many copies of Skyrim. I only bought 2 copies of Skyrim.
Dude, everyone needs 5 copies.
Yeah, I think I bought Skyrim originally on my 360, and then like maybe 2 years later, I built myself a PC, and obviously I knew about the mods for Skyrim on PC, so I had to buy it again. But that was okay though. Alright, like literally I get maximum amount of fucking enjoyment out of the PC Skyrim. Yeah, I may have paid like $40 for it, but I get way more worth $40 out of that game. But when developers do that, I just feel like I don't understand. Like, Capcom, what are you doing? That's what I just want to say. What are you doing? Stop doing that. No. How about you say this game is going to be re-released? I mean, actually, they were already doing pretty fucking good for themselves when they were re-releasing this game on the PC. They said, not only did they say that we are releasing this game, that we're going to give you the Dark Arisen, version of the game, and we are going to make it highly, PC compatible. We're going to live up to your PC's expectations for you guys. So this game is going to run at what you guys wanted to run. Y'all want to run at 60 FPS? This game will run at 60 FPS. Y'all want all the graphic options? We're going to put all of that in there. They're already doing good for this game. Don't come out and say, okay, well, if this game sells well, because we're doing all this good stuff, if this game sells well, we might make a sequel. Don't go out there and do that. Capcom, listen to yourself. Don't go out and do it. No, you go out. If you really want to make a sequel for this game, you need to, promote how much improvement that you put into this PC version. Go out there, promote, like, we know that there's a lot of fans out there for this game. This is why we're releasing it on the PC, so we can, further get more fans for this game out there. We're putting all this fan features put in there. We're improving the gameplay. We're improving the technical aspects behind the game. And we are doing it because we know people out there love this game. And we know there are people out there who want to play this game on this platform. You know, and if that's is what is going to drive your sales, showing that you are putting forth effort towards these game franchises. Why do you think people fucking hate Capcom for Mega Man? Because they don't fucking put forth effort towards it. You know, they don't try to make another Mega Man game. People keep wanting to put another Mega Man game. Oh, I'm sorry, guys. There's a little interruption here.
All right, welcome back. But yeah, what you're saying with that and everything, I agree that they should drive their marketing campaign on trying to help the fans, you know, make it better for them in general, rather than forcing them to buy the game and, you know, holding it ransom like you were saying. And I guess from their point of view, they're just trying to make it more of a risk-free sort of thing, so they don't have to risk it. They're not like, well, we can get the money off of this game, that's going to happen, but will we actually get money off of a second one? So I guess in their minds that's how it was going to play out for them, but in our minds they're just using dirty marketing. And I think it's really a difference of opinions there, but overall I have to agree with the community's outrage at them. They're like, wow, that's stupid. And a second thing that reminds me of is the DLC. They're basically, you have to buy that to fund the next game. I realized that just a second ago. That's probably why they said that, is because they're trying to either one, fund it, which I doubt, or two, they're just holding it ransom for a quote-unquote risk-free purchase. So that's what I think about that.
Yeah, and I feel you, man. I understand. You know, these things cost money. Obviously, though, look here. But it's obvious they want to invest in Dragon's Dogma. They want to make this a franchise, because they wouldn't be re-releasing this game on PC if they wasn't thinking about. Capcom, what I'm trying to say is Capcom, we already got the idea that you want to try to make a sequel, okay? Because you're investing time into putting this PC version out. You know, and I'm not dumb. Yeah, of course, yeah, I know. I understand that it takes money and investment, but I really think this is the game they should invest in. Like Mega Man should invest in. Street Fighter, they're still invested in Street Fighter, even though Sony paid some money to help that shit get made. You know, they know they're a draw to these fans. You know, it is Capcom who have to make sure they put their word in right. Okay. All right, and don't hold your games for ransom, or at least make it sound like you're holding games for ransom. Don't tell me, oh, well, if a lot of people go out and buy this copy of this game, then we're going to make a sequel. I'm like, oh, duh, because that's how fucking video games work. You know? I'm pretty sure there wouldn't be a Halo 2 if Halo 1 didn't do too well. You know what I'm saying? You know, I know how this works.
There won't be a Halo Reach because you didn't buy Halo Wars PC edition. Like,
yeah, you know, there wouldn't be a Halo Wars 2. If people didn't like, well, then I think Microsoft just understand people like their games. You know, believe it or not, I still believe Microsoft treat their franchise games better than, you know, Nintendo and Sony. Believe it or not. But anyway, that's another talk for another day. But you know, we as gamers, we understand that's how the gaming world works. If this game is, you know, very well received, then there's a good chance there's going to be a sequel. Dragon's Dogma at first wasn't very well received, but I'm pretty sure it got terrible reviews, you know, in the beginning. But from the people who do play, they say they really liked the game. They really liked it, that it was a Japanese game based on the Western type of culture of type of game, you know. So and they think, the people really think that it hit a spot. You know, it had like kind of a mix with, it had like a Devil May Cry battle system, but with kind of the open world of Skyrim. Well, okay, sort of the open world of Skyrim, sort of. Okay,
it had the good middle ground.
Yeah, they had A good middle
between
ground.
cultures and games. It's like,
Yeah.
like you were saying, it's got a very solid foundation for improvement.
Yeah.
But if you're holding that behind a paywall,
Mm-hmm.
basically, that is very, very, very stupid in my
Yeah.
opinion.
Yeah.
Because
Very
it's just
stupid.
like, thanks,
Yeah, but I will
I
agree
bought the
with you.
game.
Yeah, I will agree with you though. It does cost money, and I can understand if Capcom would just straight out and honesty is the best policy for developers. If they would just be like, "Look here, guys. All right, it's cost money for us to make this sequel." And if they would just straight out say, "Yes, we want to make this sequel for this game because we feel it has strong foundation." Okay, we want to make this sequel, but it costs money for us to make this game. If they would just straight out come out and say it, and like, oh, well, obviously, well then, how do you want us to help you get this game made? Because obviously, there's people out there who want to get this game made. You know, maybe open a Kickstarter, be like, hey, yeah, I know it's Capcom doing a fucking Kickstarter. Yes, I understand. But if they're being honest about it, be like, we don't have enough funding, but if you guys want to help us fund to get this game made, all right, we will get this game made and just probably just give it out to the people who wanted it. Right? Right? That is nothing wrong. Honesty is the best policy when it comes to developers. They just need to be honest about it. All right? Don't hold my game for ransoms. All right? I want a Dragon's Dogma 2. Don't get me excited if there's nothing's going to happen. All right? Yes, I'm going to go buy out the PC version. Not because you're about to make a Dragon's Dogma 2. No, because I really enjoyed Dragon's Dogma on my 360. And since I don't have a 360 anymore, I get to play it at 60 frames per second on my PC. Yeah, of course I'm gonna go buy it. Yeah, I like Dragon's Dogma. I like it that enough that I'm gonna buy it twice. You already got me hooked.
I mean,
Don't piss me off.
With the thing when you said it about the Kickstarter, I thought that was very funny because I can imagine them, hey, donate for Dragon's Dogma 2. I can see that'd be very funny, but I guess the way you could see it is you could consider the PC port a very cheap way, honestly, but a very interesting way to have a Kickstarter.
Yeah.
You know, instead of just paying money, you're buying something that not only that helps the developers, it would help you because, well, not really help, but it would entertain you, I guess. But it was very stupid on how they're basically holding the game hostage.
You know, if they would have just came out and say that, hey guys, you know, all right, we're going to make Dragon's Dogma 2, but we're gonna use it off the money we're gonna make off of the PC version of Dragon. Just straight out say it. Don't say maybe. No, say you will. You will or we're not. You know, well, of course they're being sort of honest here, but still though, I just don't have. It's just I guess the way they say it. Well, maybe we'll make. No, either say you're gonna make it or not. Don't get people excited for nothing. All right. That's I guess that's my whole entire point. They're making people get excited for nothing by holding this kind of game for ransom, getting me excited for nothing. Oh no, they might make that is not what's going to happen because they say they might make the Dragon's Dogma 2 based on the sales of Dragon's Dogma on the PC. No, okay. Why don't you go encourage people who already have a 360 still to go buy it? How about that? You know, like if you want to play it now, you can still play it on the 360. The 360 version is still out there. Or the PlayStation 3. I'm sorry, it was on PlayStation 3. I'm sorry. you know, don't promote what you already got, and then if you're for sure you're gonna make the sequel, then come out and say it. Yes, we promoted the PlayStation 3 and the Xbox 360 version of Dragon's Dogma during the re-release of the PC version of the game. We were promoted. People went out and bought these games, and due to our statistic and our research, we've come to a conclusion that we're going to make a Dragon's Dogma 2. How hard is that? How hard is not to sound like an ass?
Well, honestly, with the false hopes and everything, I think the best solution for that would have been simply saying, hey, we are re-releasing Dragon's Dogma for the PC. And I guess there's two sides to it. Again, they could have gone with what I'm thinking they should have done and just said, hey, we're making a second game. Or, I mean, not second game, a re-release. And then if that sold well, they would be like, yes, we're making a second game. But from their standpoint, I guess they were trying to make it sound like an extra incentive because they didn't realize that people would have blown up in their faces like a nuke, you know?
Yeah. Well, I don't think they're getting much lashback for it, you know. But I, I just hate for people because I care about us gamers. I just hate when developers do things like this. They get us excited, and we're not sure what's going to happen. You know, it's like, hey, you know, Capcom's going to get me excited about another Lost Planet. They're like, oh well, we was thinking about making another Lost. Oh, they were thinking about it. Well, glad. I'm good to know that you was just maybe putting it to thought. You know. But I don't see shit happening. If I don't see shit happening, then don't give me hope. Don't even mention that you was thinking it to me because I don't want to hear it. You're just getting me hyped for nothing. You know, you're getting me hyped for nothing.
They start up the hype train for no reason.
Yeah.
It's like
no reason.
Nowhere.
You know, have confidence in your game. I think that's another problem with some developers. I guess they just don't have confidence. I guess Capcom and. You know, they kind of built a bad reputation right now. They got a bad reputation. It's kind of sad because Capcom is known for some of the most iconic gaming franchises in video game history, as in Resident Evil, Mega Man, and in Street Fighter. You know, they got a fighting game, a horror game, and a really good platforming game. They're known for these. You know, they got some really good, highly renowned game franchises, and they got this terrible reputation right now. And, you know, maybe they just don't have confidence. You know what? I say Capcom. Stop playing yourself. Have some damn confidence. Don't hold your game for ransoms. And promote this game if you want people to buy your game. Okay, first of all, don't hold your sequel for ransom. Don't do that. Promote how technically superior this PC version is to the console ones. Yes, you're going to piss out a lot of console players, but you know what? You might piss them off, but you know what? You might get them to buy it again because they're like, yeah, I really love Dragon's Dogma, like me. You know, like, yeah, I really love Dragon's Dogma on the 360, but that shit ran terrible. It was terrible, man. I would go down to like 19 FPS during that game. You know, it ran like crap. But you telling me you're re-releasing it on the PC where I have a GTX 770, I could run this game at 60 FPS on 1080p? Yes, I will buy it again just because I like the game. But now it plays better. Yes, you already got a second sale out of me. You already got a second sale out of the people who like those games. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. You know, they should have confidence, more confidence in their games. You know, hell. You know, well, I don't agree with what they're doing with Street Fighter 5, you know, but whatever, you know, I mean, you know, it's still coming out. It's still getting funded, even though it's like through Sony, you know, or helpful from Sony. Okay, some help from Sony. All right. But, you know, don't come out and say, oh, we're thinking about making a Dragon's Dogma 2 based off the sales of the PC version. All right, we might make it. No, it's either you do or you don't. Okay, that's what gamers want to hear.
Do or do not. There's no try.
You know, do or die. And don't and don't just try. It's either do or die. All right, you do make the sequel, or you don't make the sequel. You know, yeah, that's all I want to hear. That's all those gamers want to hear. You know, we don't want to hear about they were thinking about making a sequel to this game. You know, but it's either you do or you don't. You know, I think
I honestly think it was a mistake for them to even mention it. Like, it's cool that they have the idea in their mind. I think that is very nice, but they shouldn't have. I don't think they should have said it in the first place because even though Battlefield, like going to the Battlefield franchise again, even though Battlefield 4 sold really well, Hardline sold okay. People are going to buy the next Battlefield game, but you don't see them saying, oh, hey, we're going to re-release both games, Battlefield 4 and Battlefield Hardline, in a single disc like package for $50. Like that'd be an okay deal, I guess. But they wouldn't be like, oh, and based on the sales of that, we're going to see if we can maybe make the next Battlefield game. Like, no, they don't say that because they have confidence in what they're doing, and they know that people are gonna buy it because it's a solid made franchise.
Yeah. You know, as much people want to complain about the Call of Duty games, those developers are probably the most confident damn developers out there, because they know damn well people are going to go out and buy Call of Duty. You know, that is the most gaming development confidence to the extreme. You know, like, yeah, we're going to release a shitty Call of Duty. Yeah, this Call of Duty Ghost, yeah, it was shit, but it still sold like millions of copies. You know? Yeah. Who cares, you know?
Yeah, it's press F to print money.
Yeah,
basically.
you know? Yeah, Nintendo. We're just going to release like five, models of this Rosalina amiibo. People are still gonna go out and buy it. Oh, limited edition Mario. So you better hurry up and get to the store. Goddamn Nintendo.
It's just because they know people will buy it. Like even though they're not really, I guess, like proud, confident, kind of like Capcom should be. They're more of, we're gonna get money from this. Just release it. So because they're confident.
Yeah, but
overly confident.
You know, but just to wrap things up here, you know, Capcom, please stop. Just release a good game. All right, promote your good game. Tell us about why we should go buy this good game. And don't tell me that you're thinking about making a second sequel. All right, I don't want to hear that. I just want to know about the here and the now. All right, I want to know that you're confident that this release is going to be about. You know, I'm pretty sure everybody in the chat here can agree with me. All right, I'm pretty sure everybody in chat here can agree with me. Fuck you, Capcom, but I'm still going to buy the PC version of Dragon. I will definitely be on that. But you know, let's go ahead. I feel like we talked long enough about that. Let's go ahead, and we are going to move on to the non-nerdy. I mean, sorry, not non-nerdy. The non-gaming nerdy talk of the podcast. This is stuff that, since we already talked about video games now, because Twitch wants us to talk about video games. Since we're now done talking about video game part. We're going to bring up some topics that they're not really gaming related. They're just nerd stuff that we want to talk about. Jesus, Jackdaw wanted to talk about Star Wars here. Spoiler warning. Actually, you know what?
Well, maybe.
You know what? How about we save Star Wars for the last part? Because I don't want people to leave immediately right now. I want people to talk about. I'm just going to talk about a little bit about Hateful Eight, and I'm not going to spoil anything for you guys. I just want to say, go see this movie. It's a Quentin Tarantino movie, all right, and it's good, all right. Last good Quentin Tarantino movie was Django, all right. And you know what? I just really thought about this. This movie is actually in the very veins, you know, kind of in the same realm of Django, because I believe Django took before the Civil War, and Hateful Eight actually takes after the Civil War. So it's still kind of got the Western thing going on to it, you know. So definitely go see that movie. Once again, Samuel Jackson, you know, stellar performance. I loved him in this movie. He did a great job. His character is super honest. You know, you can't blame a brother who's honest. You know what I'm saying? And definitely good. The writing, from the story, the characters, just how everything goes throughout that whole entire movie, it is good. If you haven't gone and seen the Hateful Eight, you need to go see the Hateful Eight. I was also going to go see The Remnant that day. I was going to go see it, but I decided not to. But Leonardo DiCaprio, you know what? I remember Leonardo DiCaprio was acting that Romeo and Juliet movie, and that movie was terrible. You know, but he has definitely come up.
Man.
Yeah, he has definitely come up. Yeah, even though I have not seen this movie, it has high ratings from everyone that all the movie reviewers I watch and read. High reviews. I'm going to go try to see it next weekend. I would suggest you guys go out and try to see it. You know?
Well, but besides Star Wars, I have something to talk about. Well,
you don't want to do the Star Wars talk?
Oh, I'll definitely do the Star Wars talk. That's for sure, because I'm gonna share my theory. But
before you do that, what are you gonna talk about? I'm sorry, I'm just so confused.
Yeah. Well, back in November, whenever Fallout 4 released, right? I remember I was going on Twitter because I ordered a Pip-Boy edition the day they came available, and I was very skeptical if I had actually had mine confirmed. So we didn't get the confirmations for like months, so I was getting worried about that. So I went on Twitter, right, and they said the confirmations were sent out. So I got the confirmation, and I was really happy.
Yeah.
And then because I wanted that Pit Boy edition. Okay, I really wanted it.
Okay.
So then I went to Pete Hines' Twitter, right, and about every hour or so, I spammed him with one tweet asking when can I expect that thing to be at my door. 2 weeks later, after he was probably tired of getting asked this question by like 1,000 people at a time, they said that it would be delivered to my doorstep. So I'm like, when? November the 10th, the day the game comes out. I'm like, okay, that's pretty cool. And it was just such a bad thing when I got strep throat the day before it came out, you know.
Oh, wow.
Such a bad thing that I had to miss school, you know. Terrible. So I was sitting at home, and then my dog, he doesn't like people who he doesn't know, so he started freaking out, and there was this UPS van outside, and I'm like, is that it?
Yeah.
He came up with this huge box. I'm talking massive, all right? Basically the size of a box, like bigger than an Xbox One box. So it's huge, right? I'm like, okay. So they go away, I pick up the box, take it inside. And when I opened it up, I saw the Vault-Tec logo on top of the Pip-Boy Edition box.
Uh-huh.
And I was just so happy. And then my cat thought it would have been a funny idea to knock over that box.
Oh, wow. Did he break it?
A piece of the Pip-Boy fell off.
Oh.
The salt.
Oh,
Salt.
damn.
It wasn't a huge part of the Pip-Boy. It was like, because if you've played the game, you know, there's like the little thing on the side where it goes to your inventory and everything, and then you've got the little knob on top where you can like, but like the button you press, like the square button on top. What happened was when the box fell, it opened up, and then the Pip-Boy just flew out, hit the ground, and then the little button, it just popped out. And I'm like, oh. So I'm missing a very cool, like, and you could like press it down too. I looked it up. I was like, please tell me I'm not missing out on anything. And it turns out that thing was, you could push that button and it would actually do stuff. So that cat was
That is such
viciously
a shame.
punished. Not really. I just didn't feed him for another day or two. He didn't get food. He got water. I think that's enough to help. But whenever he finally got food, he was very happy.
Oh, dang.
I didn't feed him because I was playing Fallout 4, but you know.
Feed me. He's like, I'm playing a game, sorry. Look here,
Yeah,
just
like,
go knock over the cat bed. You already know how to do that.
Yeah. You already know how to knock it over, so go over. But and then but the thing is though, the cat, he doesn't need a lot of food because he was like two weeks old, so he didn't know much, you know. But he knocked over that box and but so whenever it was knocked over and the Pip-Boy slid out, like the game came out as well because it came in the box as well, and just the Pip-Boy, the game case, all of the little foam inserts so you could put your phone inside the Pip-Boy. All of that was across the floor, so that didn't make me happy. And the box was just propped open, right? Like the actual, like the case, not the like the packaging, but like the case where you can put the Pip-Boy in, that was opened. So that's why all that flew out. And the reason I really wanted to tell this story is because this is why this made me mad. The cat went inside of my Pip-Boy box.
Oh. He messed something more up?
Yes, he thought it would have been funny to insult me more by
Did he pee on your stuff?
Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
oh man. And you might want to start putting yourself a little bit higher, but then again, it is a cat. I don't think height means anything to their douchebaggery. Oh man, yeah, that's terrible. I'm sorry to hear about that, man. That is bad business. You still there, Jack?
Yeah, I wasn't pressing the button. I'm stupid.
Oh, it's okay. It's all right. Oh, you can.
Yeah.
You can
It
set your
cleaned and
voice
everything.
to open mic if you want.
Open chat. Yeah.
Just make
I
sure
know.
you just adjust it. But man, that sucks, man.
Yeah,
That's terrible.
but
Alrighty, so
it's all good now.
we are actually going to go ahead and move on to Star Wars because I want to hear this theory
Yeet.
he has here. Just for you guys who haven't seen Star Wars, I'm just gonna say there is gonna be some spoiler talk. If you haven't seen Star Wars yet, I'm not gonna be mad at you for not seeing Star Wars. Probably just haven't had the time to go see it. That's okay. That's understandable. But he wants to talk Star Wars, and I've already seen it. So if you haven't seen it, guys, this is your time to scoot, or at least mute the stream, and go watch some of the stream or something.
Yeah.
But yeah.
All right. So I think Trader Trooper's been Kenobi. All right. No, not really. But
Secret Obi-Wan Kenobi? No. How did you know?
Yes,
No, that's fine.
he's reincarnated. That's why that's why he's coming back in the next movie. He just came back because the Force helped him survive. No, but for real though, with Kylo Ren and them being related to Han Solo and Princess Leia because they're a family, I was thinking, why is she a Jedi? Like, why does she have the midichlorians in her vein, I guess you could say? Because Luke, if you think about it, he didn't... I don't think he did have a wife. I don't think he ever got married. I don't think he ever had children. So I doubt that they are related. I don't think Luke and Rey are related whatsoever.
Really?
Because, yeah, I don't think they are. Well, I mean, they are like uncle because Leia and Luke, they're brothers and sisters. But
Okay.
because in the movie, whenever Kylo Ren was attempting to get the visions out of Rey, and it cut to some of the flashbacks of their parents leaving in a ship, right?
Yeah.
At least that's what I think they were. That ship is the exact same ship that Admiral Akbar commands. It was one of the Rebel Alliance cruisers. So therefore, that leads me to believe that whenever Han and Solo talk about their only child, I think they're referring to Rey, because whenever Han, in his final moments, went up to Kylo Ren, I don't think he ever called him son until very close to the end, because I think it was hard for them to recognize Kylo Ren as their creation because they just didn't want to be related to that. So I'm thinking that Rey is related to Han Solo and Princess Leia because this is just out of my memory. I've only seen the movie once, but whenever... Don't you think it's kind of coincidental that Rey starts piloting the Millennium Falcon?
I mean, she has always been like, according to what the movie suggests, that she's like into that kind of stuff. Like she looks at those old starships and try to figure out how those work. Because
Chewie, he didn't like Finn very much, okay? Because I think that was a thing. But for some reason, Chewie liked Rey. Isn't that kind of strange? And it's very ironic as well that she ended up, in the end, piloting the Millennium Falcon with Chewie, kind of like Han Solo. And with the Jedi part of her midichlorians, I hate that word because it sounds nerdy, but the reason I believe she would have those is because it's clear that Princess Leia and Han can have children with the Force, as shown by Kylo Ren. because of her relationship with Luke, like
Yeah.
Leia's. So therefore, I'm thinking they had a second child named Rey,
So
and that's why I think they included that scene where Rey and Han Solo were thinking the exact same things. Chewie liked Rey, and at the end of the movie they ended up piloting the Millennium Falcon together. I honestly think they
that
are trying to tell you
that
that
Ray
is Han
is Han
Solo and
Solo's
Princess
daughter. You know
Leia's
what? I
daughter.
actually believe when I was watching that movie, and even the trailers, I was just thinking like she has to be Han Solo's daughter. Like that's the only explanation to like why she's like so attached to him. Like it was like she's like
Yeah,
wholly
for real.
attached to him. But you gotta think though. You gotta think about Luke. Yeah, spoiler. Yeah, it's spoiler talk. I'm sorry, see, man. You kind of came in the middle of this. I already gave the warning earlier.
Whoops.
I'm sorry if we kind of spoiled it for you. It still doesn't ruin. You know what? You know what? That movie was spoiled for me. I will say this before I go on to my thing. The Star Wars was spoiled for me, but you know what? I went to go see it anyway, and it was just as enjoyable. As a fuck, it's a good dang Star Wars movie. You're getting what you're expecting from a Star Wars movie. So, even if I did spoil it for you, it's still good. It's like a good movie. But
Yeah.
uh. Oh, damn it! I don't even forgot what I was gonna say. Yeah, she grew attached to Han Solo, but you gotta think Luke was also into that kind of stuff too, just as much as Rey is right now.
I know.
Luke was
Because with all the
also into
training.
tinkering with the stuff, and he also was a very excellent pilot too. He was,
And they were both on sand
yeah,
planets,
they
and
both were
they
on sand
grew up
planets.
like living the hard life.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of theories that maybe Rey isn't even related to them at all. Maybe it just didn't happen.
Yeah. You know,
But the reason I really don't think that she is related to Luke, I was going to say this, but I forgot to say it, is because Luke created, he basically revived the Jedi Academy. Because
yeah.
what happened was, he got a couple people with the things in their blood that allows them to be a Jedi. So he got them all together, had the academy, and then Kylo made his own group of friends, called them the Knights of Ren, and then basically killed all the Jedi.
Yeah.
If Luke was trying to train Jedi,
What?
why would he have left out his daughter? That doesn't make any sense to me. I mean, maybe
Uh,
for protection, but
you,
there was no danger in the galaxy to warrant that.
I think he did it because his family has a history of going to the dark side. His dad was bad, was going to the dark side. I mean, come on. I'm pretty sure his dad before that was probably bad, the dark side. Even Luke himself was tested to go to the dark side. Luckily, he didn't go to fall to the dark side. But still,
Yeah.
he just knows his family has a very bad history with the Force. Right now.
Yeah, and I just thought of something that's making me think a little bit more about that. The plot line. This is really not evidence based at all. This is just theory crafted completely. But you probably know the Force Awakens is very similar to A New Hope.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, we all everybody knows
So
this.
yeah, exactly. So what if the kind of the theme of the next trilogy, basically that's in creation. What if it's kind of, because the whole theme of the movies is what was old is new again, right? That's the theme of these new movies.
Uh-huh.
So that makes me think that they're basically going to be having similar plot lines to the original trilogy, 4, 5, and 6. So what if Rey and Luke have that moment where Luke is like, Rey, I am your father. Like, think about that.
You know what? I can't really say too much. You know, I can't really, to tell you the truth, I can't decide if Ray is either. I'm on the. I hate to say it, I'm on the side that Ray is Luke's daughter's side, but I'm not even sure about that really. Like, believe it or not, I think Ray is just not related to anyone. Really, like she is just. Everybody wants her to be so related to these other characters. I really think that she is not related to anyone, and that we find out later in its trilogy that she was not related to any of those people. She just was just strong in the Force,
Kind of like
just
Anakin.
yeah, kind of like Anakin. Anakin was just strong in the Force. That's all he
And
was.
he grew up
He
on the planet too, living the hard life.
Yeah,
Whoa, wait,
yeah,
yeah, that's a good
yeah.
point because
Like
think about it. Like Rey and Anakin are very similar there because they both grew up on a desert planet and they both liked mechanical things. I mean, Luke did too, but it seemed like Anakin was more into it than Luke ever was. And Rey and Anakin still have that same sort of passion, I guess,
yeah,
about it. And they both had to work for some guy to feed themselves, And they weren't related to anyone special at all.
yeah,
But they just so happened to be strong in the Force. So that's a very good point. So now all three sides are very valid to me. So they did a very good job on having us guess who that is because on one side the whole coincidences and symbolism that I believe makes her the daughter
yeah,
of Han Solo.
yeah.
I think I still believe that, and the whole Luke thing where they have a lot of things in common,
Yeah.
and now the whole not being related to anyone. I think all those theories are very solid now. So
I think I really, I want to say, I really want to, I wish she was related. I really think she's just not related to anyone. I think she is like Anakin. She was just strong within the Force. She's probably stronger than Anakin because she used her powers right off the bat, while Anakin had to go through training to get as strong as he was.
well, then again, he was a really young child, and she's an adult,
Yeah,
so
an
you
adult.
have to keep that
That
in
is true.
mind.
But how would she know how to use like the Force, like how to use I don't know what they call it, the Force mind tricks, you know? She wouldn't know how to do that without
Yeah,
training.
because Luke had to train. Yeah, good
Yeah,
point. Because even Luke had to train, and they were about the same age.
you know, I
That's a
think
good point.
I think this is this is what I feel. All right, this is my theory. All right, either okay, if she is related to Luke, then obviously Luke is gonna tell her, at the end of the second movie. All right, guys, at the end of the second movie, just like Vader told Luke at the end of the episode 4. I can't never think of the name of the order of these movies.
I think it was Empire.
Yeah,
when
it
he
was
said
Empire, right? The Empire Strike Back. All right, but if she's not related to Luke, okay, we're gonna find out she's like Anakin. Anakin was just strong in the Force, and so is she. She's just strong in the Force. But we are gonna run into some relatives of Luke. Like, you're gonna find out that Luke did have a son or something. It's just not Rey. Okay, hold on 1 second, guys. God dang it.
that. All right.
I'm so sorry, guys. Oh, did y'all hear that? Was that me yelling? God dang it.
What?
Did y'all hear that? I'm so sorry.
No,
guys.
I didn't hear anything.
Did y'all for real? All right, I'm sorry. I didn't
Oh.
hear that.
Okay.
Did y'all hear that? Yes or no?
I just heard, "Are y'all for real?"
Oh, okay. All right,
And then I
never
heard
mind.
some sort of like vacuum noise at first.
Anyway, I think I would love to keep with this theory, but you keep talking. I'm gonna be right back, man. I gotta go run outside. This is live, guys.
Alright.
So people don't understand. I do my own thing, but I'll be right back, guys.
But yeah, I honestly think that since the whole theory is on the movies that everything new is old, everything old is new. So I honestly think that they're gonna stick to the plot line of the original trilogy and maybe go into some of the Republic era where everything happened there. I hope there's not a lot of politics like the prequels, because that would be terrible. Honestly, I don't think anyone would like that. So I believe they're going to be sticking to the original trilogy, episode 4, 5, and 6. And whenever they do that, I think one of the characters is going to have the "I am your father" moment, because if it's like that, maybe they're going to start going into the weird side with the Star Wars universe, where everything, like, history repeats itself or something. Because if you think about it, what happened with the clones is an army of soldiers took over the galaxy, and then that happened again with the stormtroopers, and now it's happening again with the New Order. Same with the Death Stars. It repeats itself over and over and over again, because they've made the Death Star, got blown up. Death Star 2, blown up. Starkiller Base, destroyed completely. But one thing that I'm not so sure about is how Kylo Ren might have survived, because they did say he survived, but I don't. That's one thing I'm not too happy about, because it's like, I get it, he's the main villain and everything, but the entire planet destroyed literally a minute after we saw him lying on the ground, almost dead, like Anakin was in the Revenge of the Sith. So, I don't like that part about it, but so that leads me to believe maybe there's just some huge story holes that are going to end up being left in there, just so it can all be basically sequel bait, I guess. But other than that, I do think everyone's theory on the relationship of Rey to any character at all, if any. But I think my theory that Ben Kenobi is Traitor Trooper.
Oh my God! Are you talking
one.
about this for real?
No, I just started talking about it. So, but yeah, Traitor Trooper is Ben Kenobi, confirmed.
Yeah, really talking about this. Okay, I am so sorry, guys. Life, unfortunately, I tell people I'm doing this right now. They still want to bother me, but life got in the way here. But what I was saying. Okay, this is what we're gonna see. Either she's gonna find out is Luke's father, or we're gonna find out that Luke has other kids, like kids who are strong within the Force. He had kind of just left them somewhere, or and Rey's not totally related to them at all. That's what I was going for. That's what I was trying to say. I think Luke do have children. All right, it's just they are not with him. And it's going to either be up to Rey to go out and train them, or they're already gonna be trained, and they're gonna be either coming after Rey, or they're gonna be trying to help her.
Yeah.
I still think Luke has kids. It's probably just not a Rey.
With what you just said there, this is off topic of the entire theory. But whenever you said that that he just had a bunch of Jedi babies, but they're not with him, that made me think of like Teen Mom. It's like the next, like Star Wars Episode 8, Teen Moms. Just imagine that, where it's just a bunch of like sad teen moms just being forced to raise Jedi babies.
Oh my God!
where they just start floating around the place, throwing things with the Force.
Luke is just spreading his Jedi babies everywhere.
Ooh. Yeah, he just goes to another galaxy. He's like, "Yo, I'm Luke. Meet me tonight, all right? All right, see you then." And then leaves the next morning. Because think about it, because in the beginning of the movie, I don't think it said a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away. So, if it's modern times, then that means teen pregnancy is a thing.
But I don't know. There's a lot of there. I think I still hate Kylo Ren though. I just
Well,
dislike
I'm
him.
Team Dark Side, so
I dislike
I'm
him
gonna have to
as a
disagree.
villain.
Well, as a villain, yeah, he's a very weak villain because General Grievous, well, Darth Maul, I mean, that was sad. That was really sad. He's like, oh, look at this, main villain. He's basically going to be the Darth Vader of this series. Oh, he just fell down a hole. Never mind. Like, I, he might end up like that. He's probably going to end up either
Mm,
like Darth Maul, just being cut off next movie, and because think about it, he was very weak with the in the Force Awakens because he was a powerful Sith, I guess,
uh,
but emotionally he is not strong like General Grievous was, or Darth Maul, or Vader, or the Emperor, because Darth Vader, the cool thing with him is he only cracked at the very end when he saw his son about to die. That's the only time he cracked. With Kylo Ren, he cries because his toe gets stubbed, basically. Like,
yeah,
he's a very weak character.
but
In General Grievous, like, he just kills Jedi, dude. He pulls
yeah,
up on the block, shoots him, takes their lightsaber.
yeah.
Like,
You know,
he doesn't care.
I mean, it's not like the character of Kylo. I guess it's just like the whole way they kind of made him Han's son. Because I feel like Han Solo
Yeah.
he's just a better person than that. He would not let his son fall so to the dark side. You know, I don't even think Han Solo would agree to Luke training his son. Believe it or not, I know, you know, Han and Luke, you know, bromance, but I don't think the bromance would have went that far. You
Yeah, I
know?
was about to say. I
Yeah.
don't think they're cool and all, the
Yeah.
Force and everything. He's the kiddo, and then just Captain Solo. But I do not think that
Yeah. You
he'd
know,
be like, "Hey, can you train my son,
yeah, could you go
please?"
train my son in the ways of the Jedi? It just didn't it don't sound right, you know?
Maybe, maybe that's going
What?
back to the Han Solo and Rey theory. Maybe that's why he didn't send Rey. Maybe that's why Han, because maybe both of his children, if he does have
Yeah,
two
but
children,
I don't
because he sent Kylo, that turned out bad, so that's why he left Rey on Jakku. Think about that. That's a
nah,
really cool theory to me because
I
he
don't
doesn't
believe
want it to
it.
turn out bad again.
I don't believe it, man. I don't believe it. I don't. You know what? I just don't believe any of those characters will abandon their children like that. I don't even believe Luke. That's why I don't believe Bray could be Luke's daughter, because I don't believe Luke would abandon his daughter like that. Luke knows how it feels to be abandoned, even though Luke was raised by his uncle and aunt. Okay, but still,
Dude, that's
though,
sad.
you
That's
know,
depressing.
just abandonment. I don't see it. You know, I don't see it that way, man. I just don't believe any of those characters would do it. That's why I think Rey is just not related to anyone. You know, she's just a person who happened to be strong within the Force, just like Anakin was. Anakin was just strong within the Force. You know,
Yeah.
that's why.
The only thing though that really makes her not being related to anyone important is because she lives on Jakku near basically a kind of semi spaceport sort of thing. So that means spaceships would have landed and they can take off, I guess, because that's why the Millennium Falcon was there, but it was more of a scrapyard than anything. So,
Yeah,
but then why in those those flashback memories with little 7-year-old Rey, why was the ship that was leaving one of the Rebel Alliance cruise ships?
yeah,
Because think about it, at the end of what's it called, Return of the Jedi, Admiral Akbar and his fleet with Lando and everything, and they blow up that Death Star. That same exact ship is the one, I believe, that was shown in that flashback. Because if you think about it, Rey is about, 1918 or so in The Force Awakens. So that means that would be about 10 years in the future, which would make sense because the New Order it wasn't really around when Rey was a young child, I believe.
It was just the
So
Empire. It should have just been just the Empire.
yeah, I think, and the Empire was in disarray. So
Yeah.
that would make sense why there would have been a rebel cruiser.
I don't
And
know.
think about this,
I don't know.
because they didn't have really a main base. Hoth was done for, Endor was owned by the Ewoks, and you don't want to live with Ewoks. And there was just cities, so they didn't really have a base of operation until The Force Awakens, really,
Mm-hmm.
whenever it's revealed. So the big capital ship that the Rebel Alliance had, that Admiral Akbar commands, that's what Leia, that, like, because in the New Hope, her little thing
Yeah.
that was being chased by the Star Destroyer, I, that was part of that fleet, and she spent most of her time on that capital ship. So, but Han Solo, in George Lucas's script, he's just in everything for the money. He's supposed to be some sort of like thug, not like thug life, but like
A
actual
mercenary?
thug. Yeah, mercenary thug. But I think that's why she had to be left, because the war was about to start again with the New Order. So, and Princess Leia did not want, her son, her daughter.
I just can't believe it, man. It just doesn't sound. I don't believe any of these characters. If Luke had a daughter, he would not abandon her. Luke already knows how it feels to be abandoned. If Han Solo and Leia, they're good people. I don't hardly doubt they would leave their
Well,
daughter. I think
if
she's just
there's
not related to
one
anyone.
solid.
I really do. I think she's not related to anyone. Or she's probably related to a character we probably never thought of.
Yeah, for real. Like
Lando.
me-
I can see her probably being Lando's daughter. Pretty sure.
No,
I'm for real.
I was about to say.
Yeah.
I think Finn, or FN 1,402,000,002.
Yeah.
Maybe he's Lando.
Maybe she's
because
Lando's daughter. Or who
'cause
else
Not
was
to be
it?
not to sound racist here, but
Well, yes, we
there's
all.
only been like 3 black people in the entire Star Wars universe. Think about that.
Yeah.
There's been Mace Windu, Lando,
Well,
Finn.
What if
That's
Lando meant a white girl? Alright. What if he meant a white girl? They went to like the
Well,
cantina,
then-
you know what I'm saying?
Oh, I see where you're going with this. No, but if there's one character theory that I think is super solid here, is that Traitor Trooper has been Kenobi. I think all the facts point to that. Think about that. I think that's a very solid theory. What do you think about it?
No.
No, you don't agree?
No,
You don't
no,
think Traitor
yeah,
Trooper's been? But dude, all the
no.
facts.
Trader
point to it,
Troopers
man.
is actually Ray's father. Nobody.
Oh,
Yeah.
good point. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why he was beating Finn, because he didn't want the
Yeah,
boyfriend.
he didn't want Finn to
whole
hit that.
situation. He's like, "You traitor! Who do you think you are?" Yeah, yeah, dude. I see what you're saying. So maybe, what if Traitor Trooper was actually Ray's father? Wouldn't that be like weird? Like, in all honesty, what if that did happen? I don't think it ever will, but I don't think there is even a chance, considering I think he died, right? Yeah, he died. So that would have been creepy if Traitor Trooper ended up being Ray's actual father. It's not gonna happen, but
Yeah, Trade Trooper is Ray's father. We all know it.
Ray's daughter.
Trey-
Is that why she was abandoned? 'Cause
Yeah,
she
He-
did the naughty.
yeah, he was going
She
off to
did the
war.
naughty as a 6-year-old.
He didn't want to see his daughter to see the worst of war. So Trade Trooper left his daughter Ray on the planet Jakku. These theories are going just out the window here. Yeah.
Dude,
Oh, I do
think
have.
it's very solid.
Say what?
It's a very solid theory, in my opinion.
I do have one more theory.
Yes.
I
what do you
think Finn is going to be a Jedi. I'm saying it. I really I think Finn is going to turn out to be a Jedi. All right.
Here, not to sound like a nerd, but I think the reason Rey was actually using the Force to a decent amount, with the mind tricks on the stormtroopers and all that, and the using the Force to help win the fight against Kylo. I just think, like you were saying, maybe her midichlorian level is slightly higher than Finn's, which is why Finn sucked as a Jedi whenever he tried to use the lightsaber against Traitor Trooper. But,
Finn is an extremely talented individual, though. If you think about it, he can shoot straight. He got like great marksmanship, and he knows how to swing a Jedi to an okay amount. Like, he picked up the Jedi and was fucking going ham
the
on
Jedi,
fools.
he picked up the Jedi.
I mean, he picked up the
lightsaber.
lightsaber. I'm sorry, he picked up that lightsaber and was going ham on those fools, man. It was
I see.
No training at all. He's like, I am carrying this deadly beam of light in my hand, and I'm about to go ham on every single person I've come, except for Traitor Trooper. Because Traitor Trooper, you don't go ham on Traitor Trooper.
You can't beat Traitor Trooper. Who do you think you are?
Yeah.
Like, you try to go with the Traitor Trooper, you're gonna lose, man.
Yeah,
it is not a winning fight.
He went. He just could not handle the fucking. I think Traitor Trooper is actually a Sith in
he's just in disguise.
He's a Sith in disguise.
He's that because whenever Kylo Ren, like whenever he failed or whatever, that weird hologram guy said, I think that hologram guy is Traitor Trooper.
It's Traitor Trooper.
He is the King Jedi.
He's the Sith master there. Yes, Traitor Trooper.
And whenever he died, as a quote unquote died, what happened is he pulled a Ben Kenobi and he was just like, nope, and just he just faded out of existence for a while.
Yeah.
That's why he died. That's why his body went limp, because there was no body in the suit. That's why.
Alrighty, I think we're gonna like ruin the Star Wars universe for everybody here if we continue this. Well, this is pretty much the end of the show here. If you have anything you guys want to bring up out there in the audience, if you guys want to bring up anything, this is your time to do it.
Not Traitor Trooper.
All right. No more Star Wars theories here, okay? We're gonna spoil it for people. If you haven't gone to see that movie and you're still sitting here listening to us talk about spoil, just go see the movie. All right. We may have spoiled it for you when I gave you a warning beforehand.
I mean, they could have like joined it.
We may have
mid Star Wars conversation.
Just go see the movie. The movie is still great. All right, it is good. It's a good movie. All right, will not disappoint. I already knew Luke's father. Darth Vader was Luke's father way before I even actually seen the original Star movie. Believe it or not, yeah, it was such a pop culture thing at the time. Like, no, or I'm your father. That was such a pop culture thing. That before I saw the actual, A New Hope, in the original trilogy, I already knew all the plot points. It's just, I just wanted to see the movie. The movie was still great to me. They're still good. I can see why people love those original movies. I didn't put it against anybody.
Did you know that in the original script for A New Hope and Empire Strikes Back, before before they got to the point where Vader was Luke's father?
Yeah.
Did you know that Leia and Luke were supposed to be in a relationship?
Really? Yeah, I'm pretty sure they wanted to do that.
Yeah, they wanted to do that, and then they realized, incest is not a very good idea here.
I'm pretty sure they're like, yeah, we can't do that. I mean, I know this is the 80s and people a little bit more liberal now, but we still can't have that going.
New theory: Rey is Luke and Leia's daughter.
Secret baby. Secret baby.
It's a super Jedi baby.
Yeah, super Jedi baby. The midichlorians out the ass. All right.
She just pukes midichlorians. Okay.
But no if you guys have nothing else to say, then in chat, because I'm looking at chat and you guys don't have any topics that you wish to bring up today, I guess I'll just go ahead and say thank you guys. Thank you guys for hanging out with us today. If you wish to be on the Half-azz Gamer podcast, well, just like Mr. Sir Jackdaw here is all you have to do is hit me up on Twitter, or just keep reminding me throughout the week while I'm streaming that you're going to be on there, and I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, or hit me up through the Discord server. That's probably your best, one of your best object, your best bet.
Discord.
Yeah, Discord or Twitter. You can direct message me through Twitter. Probably your best bet that you want to be featured on the show here. I am so sorry, guys, for my interruptions today. I really try to keep those to a minimum. But then again, this is not really a professional podcast at all.
Dude, it is the most professional podcast.
Yeah, this is
we're looking for like sponsors.
Fuck that bombcast everybody talks about that I never listen to.
Yeah, for real. We are the best.
This is more professional than that.
This is OP.
But this is what the podcast is about, though. It's getting you guys here to actually, chat and conversate with me.
Nerd out.
Yeah, you can guys get on here. You can nerd out. I don't really expect you guys to be professional anyway. I don't expect to be professional myself. I don't know. I just have too many classes of public speaking to not to be professional, but it's just this is not something. This is something for all of us to get our chance to talk about gaming stuff. This is our chance
instead of the interesting conversations.
Yeah, instead of the other conversations we have during my streams. Which usually involve tits and butts, but hey,
and drugs. Can't forget the drugs.
Can't forget about the drugs and alcohol. Yep, drugs and the alcohol. But this is our chance. So if you want to be on there, hit me up. But like I said, I really appreciate you guys coming and hang out with me. I will be back later today to do my normal stream, which is 8 p.m.
I'll
Central.
be there.
All right. So if you guys want to be there, you can still talk about games there too. That's totally fine. I just noticed that it doesn't happen as often as it does here on the Half-azz Gamer podcast. But
yeah.
Hey, just before I go though, guys, I will remind you that I'm actually thinking about changing the times for the Half-azz Gamer podcast, because I feel like this time right now is not the best time to be doing this. Really, it's just not the best time that for me. Well, of course, it's the best time for me, but for just to get to get more people involved on the show, I feel like this is probably not the best time to be doing it. So I'm in the process of changing that time. I'm thinking about just putting the Half-azz Gamer podcast time into one of the normal stream times. So I stream every day at 8 p.m.
Get all the European, all the European viewers.
I stream 8 p.m. Central Time every single day. All right, until I get a job or I start going to school. All right, whichever happened first, which is probably going to be school. So I'm thinking about just putting the just letting it take up one of those days. On Saturday night. I'm thinking Saturday night will probably be a better time because everybody's usually here on Saturdays. And so maybe at 8 p.m. Central, we'll do the first half of the stream will be the Half-azz Gamer podcast, and then the second half of the stream will be the rest of the normal stream. Or I can just do the whole entire stream that whole night. We just sit there and talk about nerd stuff. Whichever you guys think is best, please do let me know. Or if y'all think I should do it at another time or another day, just let me know. But right now, I'm just gonna let it take up a slot of a normal stream time. But you guys let me know what you think is better. Y'all want me to keep it at this time? I'll keep it at this time. But if you guys want me to move it on a Wednesday, it used to be my days off. Wednesdays used to be my days off, but now I don't have a job, so I don't care. I can move it to Wednesdays or whatever. I think Wednesday will be bad because some of my viewers are young and they have school, and I want them to be here for as long as they can. That's why I want to keep it on a Saturday. But anyway, though, thanks guys for watching. Yeah, thank you, Jackdaw, for being on the show today, for being our guest.
You're welcome.
Some awesome topics. Awesome topics you brought up, especially that time to kill, because I never thought about talking about time to kill. And yeah, and follow my Twitter, guys. Follow it, okay? I would ask you, but now I'm just telling you now. I'm just playing. All right.
At Rebel Havoc.
I'm just saying, if you just want to know when I will be streaming and when I will not be streaming, I don't like to blast the Twitter feed, so the Twitter will be a good place to find out where I'm going to be streaming or not. So I will see you guys later. That's a goodbye from me, Jackdaw. If you would please say goodbye.
We be casting off, mates.
Yeah. We will see you guys. We will see you guys later tonight. All right.